Hello friends, welcome to our flipped classroom. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be learning about measurements. We're going to be covering time, money, and volume. So get ready, we're going to have some fun with this. And the standard we will be meeting today is solving problems involving measurements. So we're actually going to execute some word problems following time, money, and liquid volume. And at the end of this, you should be able to add and subtract specific times using a number line, how to count and add up money, and how to measure liquid volume. And people, these are really good life skills that we should definitely know how to do. Because every day in my life, and I'm pretty sure in yours as well, I have to think about, okay, if I need to be at work at this time, what time do I need to leave the house? What time do I need to go to bed to get 8 hours of sleep? I'm constantly adding and subtracting time in my brain so that I'm on top of things and I'm on time to work, to school, to appointments. And this is a skill that you're going to use for years and years to come. Also with money, so important to know how to add up and count money. So we're definitely going to work on that today. Because that is something you will use in your life every day as well. And then measuring liquid volume, that is a really important skill for things like baking, if you're doing some sort of project, and also like a really important life skill to just know how to do. So yeah, get excited because these are things that are going to be useful and you'll actually apply in your everyday life in the future. So let's just get started. Alrighty, so first we're going to cover time. And let's think about what we've learned about time so far. I know last week we learned how to tell time on a clock. So I want you all to get out a piece of paper or something to write on. And I want you to write down what you've learned so far, what you remember. Just brainstorm. Pull those pieces out of your head of what we have learned about time so far. I will give you just a second to do that. And take your time. All right, perfect. So, if you're still writing stuff down, that's totally okay. I'm just gonna guide us into what we're doing next. So, some things you could have written down are what the different hands on a clock mean, and even you could have drawn pictures about how you visualize this. And I think we all did a really good job of working with each other and figuring out how we can read a clock last week. So we're going to move ahead and actually practice subtracting and adding on a clock and with time. And this is a really important skill, as I said, for planning and for everyday life. A lot of times, in order to succeed, you have to be on time to things. This is super important. So we need to practice, visualizing like what that looks like. So our first word problem we're going to be doing is a bus leaves at 7:30 a.m. from Flagstaff and takes 25 minutes to reach Munns Park. What time will the bus arrive? Alrighty, so let's imagine this. Let's imagine this in our brains. We get up super early. We're going to Munns Park to visit a relative, see a friend, go for a hike, whatever we're feeling. And we don't have a car, so we're going to take the bus. So we get there at 7:30, and we're sitting on the bus, and it starts driving, and your friend is in Munns Park, and they call you, and they say, hey, what time are you going to be here? And you have to think, okay, the bus left at 7:30, and it said that it takes 25 minutes, so what time will I be there? So I'm going to give you guys a second to think about this. What are you going to tell your friend? What time are you going to be there? This is something that we got to figure out. So 25 minutes from 7:30. Take a second to write this down on your paper and try to solve it. And take your time. Okay, perfect. We're going to do this together. It's okay if you haven't solved it. No worries. This is just our first time doing this. So, I have this number line here for us. These can be super helpful for visualizing. Okay, down here we have 7 a.m. Over here we have 8 a.m. And I know this number line's a little fuzzy. I couldn't find a better one, unfortunately, but just go with me here. So, as you can see, each tick line represents 5 minutes. So it's 7:05, 7:10, and then down here we have 7:30. And it says the bus leaves at 7:30. Alrighty, so this is going to be our starting point. And if it takes 25 minutes to reach Munns Park, what time will we get there? Well, we know how to count by fives. We learned that a bit ago, and you guys are awesome at that. So, what I would do, this is our starting point, 7:30, and let's just count by fives till we reach 25. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Beautiful. And what is this here? It looks like 55. So, we know that the bus will get there at 7:55. Awesome. Okay, so take a second, make sure you understand this, and it's okay if you don't quite get it yet. We're going to work on these in class this coming week and have plenty of time to practice. Alright, so let's move on. We have another one here. Sally has to be at work at 7:30. And it takes 20 minutes to drive to school. What time does she need to leave to get there on time? Okay, so let's think about this. Let's visualize this. This is something that I do, that your parents probably do, that you may even already do. If we have to be at work or school at 7:30, and we know it takes 20 minutes to get there, what time are we going to leave so that we're on time, so that we're not late to class or work? We got to be there at 7:30, and we know it takes 20 minutes to get there. So this, instead of addition, this is a subtraction problem. And we know that 7:30 is over here, and takes, so this is the time that we need to get to school, as you know, or work. Sally needs to be at work, or you need to be at school. So we're going to go 20 minutes back from there. Oh boy. Okay, so let's do this by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. So we know this is 7:15. We know this is 7. We know this is when we need to leave the house. And these tick marks each represent 5 minutes. So we have 7, 7:05, 7:10, and 7:15. So we know that we need to leave at 7:10 in order to be. Alrighty. Next, we're going to move on to money. So let's review what we've learned about money so far. We have learned about the kinds of money and what each type is worth. We learned that yesterday, so it's still fresh in your minds, which is perfect. We're just going to do some practice with counting it. Here we have some coins, so let's review what these coins are. We have a quarter. These are all quarters. Those are the biggest silver coin. We have dimes, the smallest silver coin, and then nickels, the medium size, and 2 pennies. So, to add these up, we have 2 pennies, which are worth 2 cents, 1 cent here and 1 cent here, 2 dimes, 10 cents each, a quarter, which is 25 cents, and a nickel. So to add these up, we start with the biggest amount and work our way up from there. So we have a quarter, 25 cents, plus 2 dimes, which are 10 cents each, 35, 45, another 5, which is 50, and then 1 and 2 cents, 52. That's how we do that. And pretty simple, and we'll practice this in class. I just want to show you, I just wanted to show you kind of how we're going to do that in the future and some strategies for that. So let's move on to volume. And what do we know about volume? I don't think we've learned anything about volume yet. So we're going to watch this little video to get an idea of what volume is. So it takes a second to load. Okay, perfect.
I'm doing a science experiment. It says here I need 1 liter of water and 3 milliliters of food coloring. What is volume? Volume is the amount of space something takes up. It describes how much a container can hold. Measuring cups, measuring spoons, beakers, droppers, and graduated cylinders are all tools we use to measure volume. It's important.
Alrighty. So now that we understand roughly what volume is, she said that volume is the measurement of how much something can hold. And that's really a great way to think about it. And volume is something that we're going to think about a lot when we're cooking. So let's practice one of these word problems. Dad was mopping the kitchen. He filled a bucket with 12 liters of soapy water. When he was done, he decided to rinse the floor with another 12 liters of water. How much water did he use in all? So let's take a second to think about that. If he used 12 liters at first and then another 12 liters, what do we know about the word another? That signals that it's an addition problem. So we're going to add 12 liters to the 12 liters he used to rinse the floor. And we get 24. And here are some other word problems that we will be practicing when we get back together on Monday. Perfect. And thank you for coming. I want you to please complete this little quiz. And it's not for points. I just want to make sure that you understood what we covered today. And we will be practicing more next week, so no pressure at all. I just want to get an idea of what we need to spend more time on. And here's a review of it. It's just 5 questions. It's not nothing too serious. And tomorrow we will be working in groups to practice these skills. So please come prepared with your thinking caps on. And thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll see you friends tomorrow. Thank you.